everyone. Welcome back. Here I am at Olmsted House, Uncle William's home, or one of his homes, I should say. And Laddie is here to join me. And we have plenty. Oh, Laddie. Laddie can't decide. He just had the longest walk out in the gardens, and he can't quite decide now if he's going to relax or he's going to have his treats. And I think he's, in fact, today we are going to be talking about preparing for tea and taking tea. And I do think Laddie's more interested on what's on my tea table. So we're going to begin. It's wonderful to see you all again. Thank you. I'm in a different room today. I'm in the kitchen at Olmsted. Miss Lee is out, actually, so I'm tending to my own tea. Now, whenever I have afternoon tea by myself, I do love to mix up my china. Different pieces of china makes it nice, and I love all the different flowers, of course, and no need to be absolutely perfect when you happen to be all by yourself. Now, I have sent Miss Lee out today, and she is in the garden. And what she's doing in the garden, she is preparing for an upcoming tea we have on Saturday. I'm going to be doing a tea with Lady Perry and Aunt Lizzie. We're going to have a wonderful afternoon tea, and Laddie, he must see the cat that seems to be walking about. Oh, Laddie, you must be a good boy. Did you wish to go about the house? Well, when Natalie talks, would you wish to do that? All right, well, you go find that cat. There you are. Seems that Laddie has other things in mind today. Perhaps he'll be back later. Possibly when I start serving the scones, he'll be back. Well, as I said, I am back here at Olmsted, and today we're going to talk about preparing and taking tea. Now, Miss Lee, I sent her out into the gardens, and she is there collecting flowers from the gardens. Reason for the flowers, ladies, you can decorate your tea tables with different types of vines and flowers, such as lily and white rose, for all your teas. Also, I am having some gelatin desserts made, and those desserts will consist of flowers. I'm having some orange jasmine flowers being plucked, and we are going to make, with the jello sleeves, we are going to make a wonderful 4 to 5 tiered mold, of course, with our nice, beautiful molds. Looking like a pineapple, in fact. Now, I must tell you about the importance of having a pineapple present at all your social gatherings, including tea. You see, pineapple, as you can see back over here, behind me at the table here, that is where we're starting to gather the pineapples. And actually, it does take a while for them to grow, and they are hard to come by. So if you are planning a tea or a social gathering, please plan to have plenty of your pineapples on hand for your gathering. Now, the pineapple is perfect for tea as a nice fruit side dish, but most importantly, the pineapple represents the sign of welcome. Yes, welcome. Wherever you shall see pineapples, whether they be in stone or the actual pineapple, it represents welcome and warmth amongst you and your guests. I have something to tell you. As you know, my husband Tommy and Lord Peary are working very hard on the Olympic-class liners. And Olympic and Titanic will be having, of course, which Olympic is already, the staircase is fully finished, and Titanic's is being worked on at this time. And the staircases will have pineapples on each tier and each level. The pineapples represent welcome to all the guests that travel on board. And later I'll be able to tell you about some of the accessories and items that you'll be wearing at tea that, should you take voyage, you'll be on wearing those clothes on the grand staircase, and such a grand entrance when you arrive. Well, today I'm to apologize that Aunt Lizzie is not here to join me. She is with Lady Perry, and they have gone to the dressmakers to pick up the hat that Lady Perry will be wearing, since she is the hostess of Saturday's afternoon tea. But I had a suggestion for her. Rather than making a brand new hat, well, you know me, the rebel, and I do tend to not make everything exactly brand new. I like to make homemade items or refinish family items that have been in the family. Well, you must remember that beautiful gray chiffon hat that Lady Perry wore for my wedding. Well, I suggested that she should take her hat. It was so beautiful, and the beautiful sprigs of white, and the baby's breath, and the white flowers about it. I suggested that she take the hat to the dressmaker and have it remade. And ladies, imagine this if you will, with beautiful hints of mauve and pink, flowers, roses, all about the hat, and little areas of pink silk, or possibly a mauve silk to be woven in, and then with that netting to go all over the entire hat, which will take some of the formality away from it that would be for things such as a wedding, and make it more with, as we know, nettings in gloves, which you will see, and in your hats, and your veils, and in your shawls for tea are more appropriate. And of course, the lace. Now, of course, I would like to mention to you, I have with me today, and of course it's always in the wrong place, and these are items I will be sharing with you later, so I shall place them there. Now, ladies, when you do, goodness, I need Miss Lee, but I do try to do well without her. Ladies, when you are preparing your invitations for the tea, if you are the hostess, as Lady Perry is, you are to prepare the invitations in your own hand. You have a choice. You may, when it comes to the actual announcement, you may choose fine print or your handwriting. Depends, of course, on one's budget. But as you can see here on the front of one of the invitations that are ready to go out and already stamped, Lady Perry has handwritten in fine handwriting, nice script, to the lady that will be attending. And then, of course, when you pull your invitation out, as I had said, you may have a choice of, you may have this right here, you may have print, if you choose. So Lady Perry is able to accommodate a printing. She's also able to accommodate either general print or a fine script. And of course, we will show you more of these later in a closer look at them. Now, if you prefer to do all the writing in your own hand, it is absolutely preferred, to be honest. And do not forget the tissue paper within your invitations. And of course, you have right here a special little calling card in your guest's name, so they can send this back. And I will tell you why in a moment before the tea. This one has not gone out as of yet. And then of course you can write, as I said, Lady Perry has the finest of handwriting. You can write your invitations. Now, this would be sent out within your invitation, and the ladies would send this back, or the ladies and gentlemen, if they happen to be coming with their suitor, or their husbands, or their brothers, or their fathers, they will be bringing this, or they will be sending this back to you by post, of course, to arrive before all the day of the tea. Reason being, you will take these little cards and then you will place each guest that now has corresponded that they will attend, and you will take these cards and you will place them where you would like to sit each of these ladies or ladies and gentlemen. So then they will act as a place setting as well. Now, some of the things you may do, if you are serving an afternoon tea in which there'll be only ladies to attend, I do suggest, what would I say, gifts, little gifts for them to take back home with them. Now, there's several things you may use for that, and let me put these invitations aside for now, as we shan't be needing them straight away. And you can have doilies that are made for their tables and to cover the backs of their chairs at home. This is a fine cotton lawn and a hand-woven lace on the edges that makes a wonderful gift. Now, ladies, we all have bits of lace from our dresses and our bodices and all our tea gowns. If you happen to have some lace about, and it's enough on a spool, so to say, you can take these bits of lace and you can wrap a bit of flowers, each lady perhaps a bit of a rose, a nice rose, perhaps a pink rose with a white rose and a yellow rose, how proper for tea, and possibly a nice red one, a nice arrangement. Of course, do not forget the sprigs of sweet pea. And then you can take this lace and wrap it around the flower arrangement and place it at each setting. And of course, this lace the ladies would take home with them and work into, they can either work this into a garment or of course, a fabric protection, a doily at home, or they can just save it for a nice fond memory of their wonderful tea with you. Another fine gift that you may supply the ladies is a fine woven ladies embroidered handkerchief. And once again, of course, I do stress all of this does, of course, depend upon one's budget. So I do hope all can see. And this is just beautiful, beautiful floral, and then the hand knot on the ends, and a fine handkerchief cotton lawn. Now, of course, I'm going to be talking momentarily about your linens. One of the linens, of course, you can use for your napkins is basic fine linen. And on these linen napkins, you can embroider the initials of each of the guests, and then they would be able to take this napkin home with them. But I'm going to put this aside because we're going to talk more about this a little bit later. Another fine gift, if you're having ladies, or I do suppose perhaps if you had ladies and gentlemen, it would be a nice gift for the ladies. Once again, if your budget provides, fine net pillow cozies or shams that would go over your boudoir pillows, and of course, or in your tea room where you're taking tea, or on your sofas. And these would be very nice for each lady. And here's another, and this one is in a different shape of a rectangle, and one can see the fine, the absolute fine lace. Just beautiful, just beautiful. Now the place settings can be the linen of which I spoke of earlier, or they may be wonderful placemats that are hand woven with cotton fine lace, raised embroidery, and hand knots. And this may be another gift that they may take home as their placemat, their place setting. So those are some ideas for you, and we're going to take this back here, and I will place everything here. Now, table preparation before, oh my goodness, I see everything Miss Lee has prepared for me. Beautiful things everywhere. I don't know what, and they all look so yummy. Should I say yummy, not a proper word. But they look so delicious, absolutely delicious. So, but before we prepare to have your tea, you must remember to prepare your linens. Now, you may choose to have your table linens in a fine simple linen cotton white, and that is quite suitable and quite proper. But ladies, for those who want to have a little bit more excitement, you can take the fabric stampers, as you see here. This belongs to, and this is in the kitchen of Lady Perry and Uncle William. And you can take, and there's fine Irish clovers here on the stamper, and you can ink stamp your linens. Of course, this would have to be done much ahead in preparation for your tea, as this will take longer to dry. But you can, and you can find these in town, of course, near Donegal Place, at all the little shops, and you can pick and choose the types of decoration that you would like to stamp your linens. So that is a linen stamper that you may use. Now, of course, as I said, the plain white. Now, when preparing your table, I did speak of the gifts, of course. Now, in preparing your table, there's much to be taken care of. Now, on your table, you will have your teapot. We're going to talk about warming your teapot. You will have your milk. You will have your sugar, loose, of course, and you will have your tea. Now, there's different ways that I'm going to speak to you about the tea. You can serve scones. Those are the tasty treats, and it seems I have a lemon wedge here as well from Miss Lee. But some of the things that you may serve at a tea would be the scones, lemon wedges, Victoria sandwiches. Have you ever had Victoria sandwiches? They are just divine. And they are a type of bakery that is made with almonds. I do suggest the almond inside the bakery. And then you can place the jam inside the sandwich. And once the bakery's all made, it's like a sponge cake. And may I remind you, when you make your sponge cake for the Victoria sandwiches, ladies, don't forget to help your domestic, if you're as myself, who I don't mind helping my ladies, or if you're giving instruction, remind them they are to line the pan with plenty of butter before adding the mix. Once the sponge cake is done and cooled, you'll be able to cut it into slices, and then in between the slices, you'll be able to add the jam of your choice, be it a bilberry or a strawberry, oh, delicious, or a grape jam, oh, wonderful jams. And by the way, speaking of food, I noticed that Laddie's bones and his treats are all about here, still on the carpet. I do hope he returns to us to enjoy his treats, but I suppose he's still busy running about Ormiston House with the cat. Oh, goodness knows what else he may find. So, talking about the food once again. Oh, is Laddie, I think I see Laddie in the other room. Laddie! Hello, my dear. Laddie, where have you been? Where have you been? Did you get some exercise walking about? What are you chasing? Are you chasing mice? Are you chasing squirrels? Are you chasing cats? What is it you'd be chasing? Laddie? Well, it's nice to have you join us again, Laddie. And you have plenty of edibles here. And do excuse us just for one moment. And Laddie, would you like this from Lily? Nice bone. Well, Laddie, you have so many bones to choose. I think you'll stay for a little while, Laddie. It's nice to have Laddie back with us. So we have, and I did make my, of course, list to make sure we don't forget anything. So table preparation, and you would have a separate little plate for each of your guests, and in the middle of your table you would have tea trays with different levels of the sandwiches. May I suggest, of course, you can also serve cold sandwiches, ladies. Cucumber sandwiches, which are bite-sized. Cucumber and salmon, cold salmon. and then with a bit of a condiment there on the sandwich would be absolutely, absolutely divine. So the sandwiches are another tasty treat. Now I do know that my ladies will be making some fine cakes as Victoria sandwiches and other pastries for the end of tea, before we end tea. Now, of course, also, so you at your table now, we're going to talk a bit about the things you need to have at your table. Now, you must remember you are going to be having finger foods, all right? So, shortly when I get to your attire that you will be wearing, the proper attire for attending tea, let's quickly get to your gloves. It is not proper to eat at any time food with your gloves on. Now, I do know that you have all taken notice of, I'm going to bring one, well, perhaps I have the other here. Actually, I have the whole here. Oh, am I missing one? I may be missing one, but here we are. I have 3 types of gloves that are permissible for tea. Now, the ones I suggest, of course, you want to attend in creams or ecrus. I suggest a fine cream or white silk glove. Ladies, you can get the finest and with a very open weave of net. You probably can barely see these, but it's a fine open weave and there are no snaps on this, which here are cream gloves, have the open snaps. Is that correct, laddie? Laddie's my buddy. He's being so, yes, you are. We're still talking. Yes, we are. Yes, yes. All the edibles are on the floor here, laddie. Yes. Laddie is my buddy, and he goes with me everywhere. Now, another item I will tell you about the gloves. You want to have a glove that's quite fitting to the hand for your entrance. It makes your hands look very slim, and look very clean and proper, and not a wrinkle to be found. And it is very important when you do attend your teas, and if your hand is taken upon entering to greet the hostess, you must make certain that your gloves are absolutely in excellent, clean condition, with, of course, no wrinkles and no rips or tears. Now, colors. It is permissible for you to have a coordinating color with the ensemble you'll be wearing to tea. Now, normally, as I had said, we're going to talk about the clothing, and you will be wearing a lot of whites, creams, laces. So the first 2 gloves I'd shown you would be the most permissible, but if you happen to come in a tea gown that does have alternating and darker colors of ecru throughout, and tea-stained gowns, then these, of course, would be absolutely permissible as well. Now, on the wrist cuffs, when you turn the glove over, there are snaps, and you want to have the gloves that only come to your wrist. And the reason being is because you will be removing these for your tea. Unlike the dinner, what is it, laddie? Laddie, what is it? Are you still wanting to go out and about? You're not wanting to be here with Nellie today? Perhaps you can, well, oh, I understand.